So I've been hearing a lot about how terrible Dragon Ball The Breakers is right now, and it's really looking really bad. Like they're only going to be getting one raider this year. That is crazy, and things are not looking good for the Breakers, especially after the recent announcement of the Season 7 extension. Poor Iron Cane. But before we get into the potential downfall of the Breakers, hello, it's your boy Drew Drop, and be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Today we'll be discussing about Dragon Ball The Breakers and just my overall opinion on the game and like what's going to end up happening to the game this year because the future is in question at this point. It's really not looking good for it. But anyways, let's get to it. Anyways, it should go without saying, but Dragon Ball The Breakers is not in a good place, bro. Like, it really isn't. A lot of my friends who love The Breakers are calling this the end as we know it. So what happened? Well, I'm not into The Breakers, because it just didn't really fit my playstyle. But my friends tell me the fall off happened a little bit after Season 4 was released, which was when Broly came out as the Raider during the first anniversary. So basically, almost all of last year is when the downfall happened. From what I understand, I can't be the person that verifies that, but from what I understand, that was when the downfall happened. The last time I actually played Dragon Ball: The Breakers was when Season 6 came out, mostly because of Baby Vegeta's release. But ever since, I have never touched the game again. However, I just couldn't get used to the mechanics of the game, but by far the biggest issue was the region locking for matchmaking. Contom Mods, my pal Genic, has described it in the best way possible. He wanted to play with friends, but because of the region locking, he was unable to do so, which is kind of stupid in my opinion. I don't understand why they did the region locking, but apparently it benefited Japanese players only, which really aggravated the community. I mean, when you just ignore what the community's saying, like it kind of kind of makes the community angry, which I know a lot of people will say that Xenoverse 2 does that. They still kind of listen with Xenoverse 2, but there is certain things they don't listen to. But it's whatever, I guess. But Iron Cane mentioned, shout out to him. I'll link his channel in the description below. From what I understand, he mentioned how the balance of the game was really bad, saying how survivors were too overpowered, and how it made the game not fun to play, and how it was just getting really stale, and like a lot of the passive abilities were getting a little bit too out of hand, because it made it really not fun to play the Raider, from what I understand. And I was experiencing this a lot when I was playing as Baby Vegeta. Like noticed I was getting stun locked a lot. Like I was getting locked in a stun, which is actually insane. Like it basically made the game almost like really unplayable. Like it was actually not even fun at all. And if you enjoy Dragon Ball: The Breakers, I completely understand. It just was not my game. But a lot of people have been wondering what is going to happen with the future of the game. Well, here's my opinion on it. I feel like that's not going to immediately shut down. I mean, will it shut down? I think it probably will at this point because the numbers are falling off, bro. The numbers are falling off. I think like the most recent peak I saw was like 350 or something like crazy on Steam. It's something really bad. And like even like Xenoverse 2, like at least caps off at around 1,500 on Steam, which I know a lot of people will say, "Oh, it's mods." No, mods. You have most of the time people are offline with mods, and the only way that counts is if you're connected to the server. So I highly doubt that that's mods on that, and that doesn't even cover like the console player base, which Steam is not really a good gauge to really gauge to like the player base, but it is a gauge that a lot of people use to see like how a game's doing. And so far, Breakers is not doing good at all. So, and then like they're supposed to be doing these reworked Raiders, because from what I understand, they're redoing the content roadmap to where they're going to be doing these reworked Raiders. I'm guessing that the reworked Raider would be Golden Frieza. I know Iron Cane has mentioned this a lot. A lot of other people have mentioned this a lot. How Golden Frieza could be added to the game, which I feel like that would be cool, but like it's not really a full new raider. And with them only getting one new raider, that was a big ouch. That was a big stab in the back, because I feel like the raiders were the best part that I really looked forward to, because the survivors, I mean, they're cool, but like the raiders are what I look forward to. But I think the one thing that really made me sad is how like they treated the maps, like treating the maps how they were treated, like not adding any map in season 6 and not adding another map in season 7 was actually ridiculous. Like I thought it was actually stupid that they said, "Oh, just imagine that you're playing at the Red Ribbon Army base. Imagine the place from the movie." I was like, "What the heck?" Like that was like another like stab in the back right there. And then there's no survivor skins going to be getting added from what it looks like. Just a whole lot of nothing, really. They're already kind of killing the game off. And that is just upsetting, because when this game goes offline, there's not going to be any way for you to play it like outside of that, because it's a live service title. See, this is why I don't like live service games. Like even like Dragon Ball Legends, like at some point, yes, it is going to be unplayable unless they make an offline version of it. The only way I could see them doing like making Dragon Ball the Breakers playables is somehow they did like some sort of like, just like Multiverses did. They did an update where you could play the Breakers on like offline, where you didn't have to connect to a server. But the odds of that happening are really slim to none. I just don't see them doing that. But with it being a online only game, that really complicates things, because that could basically mean that Dragon Ball the Breakers, as we know it, will be unplayable without, like basically, because it's not on the disc. Like even if you have the physical copy disc, like I do, you're not gonna be able to play it. Like bro, like that is actually insane. And I just really feel for y'all Breakers fans. Like, tell me how you guys have enjoyed the game over the years. Like I said, it wasn't my cup of tea, but mostly because I had nobody to play it with. But I'm sure if I had some people to play it with, I would have really liked it and really enjoyed it. I know a lot of my friends in Nicola's server were mentioning how like how great the game was and how amazing it was. And I did like the Raider gimmicks and stuff like that. Like my favorite Raider was, of course, Baby Vegeta, because he's just one of my favorite villains from Dragon Ball. But I do think that like the Raiders and just blowing stuff up gave it a new perspective that wasn't really tapped into in the other games. The only thing is, though, the graphics were a little bit not the greatest, but that was because it was released on the Switch day one, and then they kind of reused a lot of Xenoverse assets, which is why a lot of people thought that they was going to put like second form, third form Frieza like in Xenoverse. They still haven't done that, which I'm kind of surprised about, but they haven't done that yet. They did put semi-perfect Cell in the game, kind of, because he's not playable in Xenoverse 2. But like in terms of the Link thing, it kind of has been annoying me, because I want to get a lot of those like really dope artworks and I just can't get them because I have to play the game, and it's a lot of work to get those artworks. If you have a lot of those artworks, by the way, you probably have some rare artworks, because I just can't get those because there's a lot of effort. Tell me below what artworks that you have, or if you have any of them. I just got the initial ones when the semi-perfect Cell thing happened with the event with Oolong, which Oolong's still in the Conton City lobby, so if you want to still do that, I'm assuming that you can do that. But that raid, that Perfect Cell raid, has not come back, and I don't know if it ever will come back, because they said it was a limited raid. But anyways, let me know below like what raiders that you would have liked to have seen, or what the next raider could be. Personally, I would like Android 21 to be the next raider, but it really could be anybody. It could be Omega Shenron. It could be all kinds of different villains for the next raider, and just let me know what you guys want to see. But anyways, this is the Drew Drop signing out. Have a good one.